Summer and winter solstice explained. As we know that the Earth revolves around the Sun in elliptical orbit along with rotation around its own axis. Due to its tilt, the Earth does not receive a uniform amount of sunlight on all its portions during its revolution around. At different time of the year, the portions of the Earth receive different amounts of sunlight depending upon their positioning. Let us understand the June solstice first. So this is the Sun, the Earth, and the orbit in which the Earth revolves around the Sun. Now here, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, the two parts in which Earth has been divided. And let us imagine a vertical line partitioning the Earth into two halves again on the basis of its exposure to the Sun. Now, as we can see in this situation, the northern hemisphere of the Earth, larger portion of the northern hemisphere is receiving the sunlight in the month of June or during the June solstice. So, we see that a larger portion of Earth is receiving the sunlight in the northern hemisphere, while in southern hemisphere, a very small portion is exposed to the sun or sun's light. And that is the reason why this time of the year, there are summers in the northern hemisphere, while the season of winters is there in the southern hemisphere. And hence, we say that there is summer solstice in the northern hemisphere at this time and winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, because obviously in the northern hemisphere more area is exposed to the sunlight, so the days are longer and temperatures are higher, while it is the other way around in southern hemisphere where the temperatures are lower and the days are shorter, which is termed as the winter solstice. Now let us understand the December solstice. The Sun, the Earth, this time it has reversed its position in the month of December as it was in the month of June, and the orbit of the Earth around the Sun. Again, the northern and the southern hemisphere, and an imaginary line that partitions the Earth into two. Now, in the month of December, we can see that the northern hemisphere receives sunlight in a very small portion, or very small area of the northern hemisphere receives sunlight, due to which the days are shorter and the season of winter is there, temperatures are lower. On the other hand, at the same time, the southern hemisphere experiences its summers due to larger portion being exposed to sun's light, due to which the days are longer and temperatures are higher, and there is the summer solstice taking place in the southern hemisphere, when at this time the northern hemisphere is experiencing its winter solstice. So in this way, it is just the opposite of the June solstice. Here in December, the northern hemisphere experiences its winter solstice, while the southern hemisphere experiences the summer solstice. To sum it up, the summer solstice in northern hemisphere is during the June, that is 21 or 22nd June. In southern hemisphere, it is in the month of December, 21st or 22nd December. And it is the opposite in case of northern hemisphere. The winter solstice is around 21st to 22nd December, and in southern hemisphere it is around 21st to 22nd June. Thank you. Like, share and subscribe to the Practical Side for more interesting and informative videos.